What up, it's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It's motherfucking Monday. Here with my guest host from the deep, dark tundras of the 50. I don't even know how many states there are anymore. It's cold up there. It's Canada. They're starting to run into their own problems. So, what's up, Dino?
I'm good. Yeah, there's been a kerfuffle up here. You know, we just had elections.
Yeah.
And the funny part was that everyone was like, this guy's going to be great right out of the gate. What was his new law? All cars before the year 2000 are going to be slowly migrated off the road. They're not going to be allowed on the road. And you're like, what?
Hey, so you guys are going to be back to horse and buggy?
Hey, lift kits, not allowed on the road anymore. Like essentially he's anyone who likes playing with their car, you're done. Anyone who has a classic car, you're done. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. What the fuck is that? Like everyone is losing their mind. It's
Does
pretty
that have to do with anything about the shit that's going on? Like is he really going back to horse and buggy days?
No. You have to have a new car or no car. Those are your options. Which I'm like, okay.
So they're going back to the horse and buggy. Dude.
Oh, no, we do have new cars, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the people who can't afford the new cars or nothing. I mean, the government just giving them a new ride.
So interestingly enough, is that if you go to not farm country, but if you go to like Saskatchewan and Alberta, where they have like cowboys, you can pull up to a Tim Hortons on your horse and get a coffee. Like in the drive-through, you can run your horse through, right? And people are like, that's crazy. And you're like, why? They're fucking cowboys. Like this is a real thing. It's not.
Well, so over here we got a lot of Amish over here.
Yeah, and they'll also use
towns. You can pull right up to the drive-through, horse and buggy, boom.
Absolutely. Right, but the whole thing was that those two provinces that were against this guy are literally the one he's directly attacking, and you're like, bro, it boggles my mind how vindictive and stupid people are, because you're like, listen, a bee doesn't take the time to explain to a fly that honey is better than shit. Do you understand that principle?
Yes.
And they're like, no, everyone needs to eat shit. And you're like, okay, I don't want to eat shit. They're like, no, you have to. You're like, well, I don't want to. I'm not going to eat your shit. I'm going to
season it with a little fentanyl.
Yeah, that's 100% it is. Don't worry, it comes with some drugs that may kill you as well. You're like, well, I don't want either of those. I'm not interested. By the way, your banner at the bottom says "What the fuck Wednesdays with Marco." Just fuck. It should say allegedly, just so we don't murdered.
All right, let's see banners examples.
I'm at a point right now where I'm like, everyone realized that these people are crazy, right? And the idea that people are like, oh, I support this politician. Good. Do they support you? Because a politician should support you, not the other way around.
We got a mayoral race coming up here in my town, and there's just mad corruption in our city, just our city government, and there's a lot of targeting, and there's a lot of we'll just say there's just a lot of issues. We got the current mayor. He was on TV, on national television, no less, stating that he only hires people that look like him.
That's racist.
Yeah. No matter what color you are, it's racist. And then he tried to step it back, and no. Then we got another guy. We got another woman who is actually my councilwoman of my ward, who only pops up, I've seen, for wine mixers and stuff like that. The the more bougier part. Like we live in Youngstown. Where the fuck? Like, um, and then we got another dude, uh, blue collar guy. You know, he got a little bit of a sketchy past, just like anybody else from Youngstown. You know, he's from this area, and they are doing their damnedest to pull up this man, every little bit of dirt on this man, try to check him on every ordinance, every eligibility thing or whatever. Just recently, you know, he got arrested because like he lives on the border here.
Right.
He got arrested for pretty much throwing. He got a domestic violence charge for throwing a phone in the mud and yelling in his yard. Yeah, yeah, dude, they're doing whatever. And then like I see now most of the shit that comes up, especially on the local news, it's a one time thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're lucky if it comes up on Facebook. You got to be like subscribe to that particular shit.
Yeah. And then it's gone.
Fourth day in a row, and there's new evidence today on this dude, mayoral candidate, this and that, mayoral candidate. But you don't hear shit about what the current mayor is doing or not doing, or any other mayoral candidate. You know, like I said, the councilwoman I seen she posted pictures that she was at a wine mixer or whatever. You make sure you get out the vote.
See, you know what? And I tried to. We were talking about this, Victoria and I, and she was like, "You should think about politics." I'm like, once I'm thin, like once I have abs to show that I did it, then I'm like, I'm gonna try my hand at motivational speaking and all that kind of stuff, tell my story and so on and so forth. And I may go into politics, but I'll tell you this much: anyone who brings dirt, I'd be like, not only did I do it, I'll fucking do it again. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, sorry.
You know, a lot of people, like even somebody mentioned to me a couple times, like I should run for like a public office or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I can't. You know, the first time they bring dirt up on me, I'm like, nah, yeah, I did say that, or yeah, I did do that.
I did.
Yeah. I might have been fucked up. Who knows? Or
well, this is the thing, right? Is what bothers me the most is the gaslighting, because it's like, look, if you're going to be corrupt. That's fine, but your corruption should be accessible on all levels, right? And that's something we talked about a few weeks ago. Was the whole idea where it's like the difference is that corruption around the world is I pay, I get, done. This is the fee. I pay, I get. It doesn't matter who my friends are. It doesn't matter what party. No. I pay, I get. The corruption in the United States and Canada is exclusive corruption. And then they're like, we're not corrupt. You're like, bro, I saw you take money. They're like, oh no, that doesn't count. That's like somebody who's like, I'm a virgin, but I have sex for money for my job, so it doesn't count. You're like, no, that all counts. Yeah. That you're still, none of those are differentiated.
The wide hole, the STDs, all of it, it counts.
It doesn't count because it was on my job. No, that's worse. Okay, so
no. Now the only kind of way that I figured that it doesn't count, and I was taught this by Greek girls when I was growing up in Campbell. The Greek girls used to have butt sex, so they would still be virgins.
Yeah.
So you know they would go out and be doing whatever, but it was always in the butt.
So wow.
Which is odd for the stereotype, but
I mean, yeah, it's way to keep the Greek going there, ladies. But like, yes, I understand what you're saying, and you're I guess vaginal virgin. That's fine, but you can't say that you haven't had sex, right? So it's this weird thing where you're like, wow, that's very semantics as opposed to principled, right? That's, you know. When your asshole stops working because you've been fucked so much, you're like, yeah, I think that's a problem. It's you maybe you're a butt slut.
There's a prolapse there that you know.
Yeah, you know, like
unexplainable.
Yeah, you need some cream for that. Tighten it up. I don't know. It's weird, but like that's why it just doesn't count. You can't be that whole. That's why it's like be corrupt, but don't lie about it. Like that's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
By the way. Cole and I were considering, because we're talking about merch and everything, right? So one of the ideas was, I'm like, we should get a shirt that says it's pronounced jazz lighting, just to mess with people, because gaslighting, yeah, it's pronounced jazz lighting. You should know. That's so true. I also got corruption on paper and in Campbell Court with the judge before he became judge, and I want to expose what you are speaking of at this moment. Oh, Louis Perez, by all means, sir, feel free to write it in the comments, because you know what? It's a problem, but that's on you. We are just we're just reporting on the things. We're not this is all.
I went to school with Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Our kids used to play football together.
This is the thing, is like, it's that whole idea we were talking about last Wednesday about qualified immunity. You're like, if you're a police officer, you should be held accountable. It's not right. Like, there are it's, and like, oh, you're a judge, you broke the law, you should be held doubly accountable. Why? Because you're a judge, you should know better, right? It's the same idea where you're like someone who's done something 1,000 times and then screws up. You're like, hey, what happened? You're like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. You're like, no, you've done it 1,000 times right. You can't screw up now and go, ooh, I don't know. That's not how it works.
Well, speaking of that, because I just read an article about an hour or two ago on that, because Ohio is becoming closer and closer to pushing the ban on qualified immunity, and it said that a police chief in one of the counties here in Ohio wrote a scathing paper on why qualified immunity should not be banned or whatever, and pretty much I'm gonna just sum it up in these short few sentences. If we can't break the law, we're gonna lose cops.
Those people should have never been cops.
That's exactly what it came to. Well, if our police officers have to think twice before making a split decision, then that could cause, and that may cause them financial ruin. Yeah, you should always be thinking that.
Yeah,
you should always be thinking, am I fucking doing the right thing? Do I have a reason to have this gun out, or am I just having a bad day? Do I just want to swing my dick around? Now you have to think about that. Swing your dick, lose your wallet. That's it.
I'm sorry. Oh, you mean that somebody shouldn't be breaking the law while on the job? Yes, that's correct. You're like, oh, well, if they can't break the law, why would they be police? To uphold the law. That's the whole job, is to uphold the law and keep the peace. So if they're police officers to break the law, they're not good police officers. Like, how is it? Like, at what point? Like, and I love the fact that you said it was a scathing report.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
Bro, that's like you're out to lunch, bro. Like, you're nuts if you think that you've made an argument that, see, if the police can't break the law, we won't be police. Great. Fuck off. Go somewhere else. Go be a criminal. You know why? Because you're clearly good at it. And also, if you're only good at being a criminal when you're not going to be held accountable, I mean, you're not even a good criminal. You're just a shitty person who's abusing things. Like,
yeah. I read that earlier, and I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, I was thinking, because like even like Patty, one of the ladies who comments on here, she because her daughter is a fucking police officer in Youngstown, LA.
That's
but
hard.
She wrote a whole list on what the like pros of qualified immunity, and still at the end of the day, I'm like, no. If you break the law, whether you're doing a job or not, the only people that got the fucking right to do that shit is like people who are guarding like the president.
So, well, I'll take it one further, Marco. Is that if you assault a police officer and he beats the fuck out of you, I don't think that police officer should be charged. That's my opinion. If you attack a police officer, if you pull a gun on a police officer, okay, it looked like no. If you pull a gun on a police officer and he shoots you, I think he should be fine.
That's right.
because that's actually, he did what he had to do to uphold the law, right? Now, if you pull out a cell phone and he says, I thought it was a gun, well, maybe that guy shouldn't be a police officer. If he can't tell the difference between a cell phone and a gun, right?
Well, what about the numbnuts who couldn't tell the fucking acorn hit in the car and dumped into the back seat?
Listen, and you know what? I'll be honest with you, Marco, is when you're running super high on adrenaline, you will have issues with your responses.
Yeah, right.
And it requires training and understanding so you can handle that adrenaline rush and still, because listen, someone who's been in the military for a long time, active duty and like in the shit, you'll see them, they still have that same adrenaline rush like everybody else, but they've learned to figure it out and channel it and focus.
And guess what? The ones who didn't either get arrested or get sent to a mental hospital. Or worse, some of them get shot. I mean, it is.
Look,
but I mean, in the case of the dude getting, shooting into the back, there was no adrenaline there. There was no. It wasn't like there was 50 million people around. There was, this was a traffic stop. He put the kid in the back and heard a thump, turned around and just dumped, dude.
Yeah, which you're like, oh, you're going to jail, bro. You just murdered somebody. Like that's. If you, and he's like, well, I didn't know. Yeah, that's a problem. Then you shouldn't be walking around with a gun as a police officer.
But what about the chick? She was supposed to be the supervisor. The two dude, there was a trainee cop. There was another cop who was a dude.
Yeah.
And the one cop was on one side of the car. The trainee was telling the kid to get out the car because they I guess ran a stop sign or something, and it was his mom's car.
All right.
But the cops are going back and forth. The kid is getting his paperwork, getting ready to get out. The chick decides to walk up. She starts screaming something, grabs the gun and shoots the kid. Like the other cop comes around. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like,
hey, right to jail, straight to jail. Sorry. Hey, if you shoot an unarmed person, and let's qualify it, right? So if you shoot an unarmed person, right, you're a murderer. Like that's right. Now, let's add to really quantify that is that if somebody is shooting at you, then throw their gun away and goes, I'm unarmed. Yeah, shoot him. That's fine. That's not a
leg shot. That's at least a leg shot.
Oh, at least. Okay. Maybe a gut shot and then don't give him care for a couple days, see what happens. That's fine. But like if someone's like, I'm unarmed, I have my hands on my head, I'm not doing anything, or it's like that's not, you can't do that shit. You're like, oh, I shot him. I thought he was reaching for somebody. Did he say he was reaching for a gun? No. Did he look frazzled? No. Is there any reason why you would think he was reaching for a gun after you told him that, hey, I need your license and registration, please provide it? Like, bro, I've never been arrested. Never. Okay. I've had a talking to, I've been in the back of a police car, never had handcuffs put on me. But I'll tell you this much, when a cop pulls up, my hands are on the dash with the keys in between them. I go, hi, officer, what can I do for you today? Everything's fine. We're just two people. I want you to go home safe, and I want to go home safe too. No problem. Why? Because I'm the size of a fucking land manatee that could probably eat you. I know how stressful this situation could be, so I'm making sure you're well aware that I am not a threat. Now, if I stand there and start going, like, look, the best is, you remember recently there was the female basketball player who cut the cop, and the cop's like, please back away, just put the knife down, get away from me. And then they screenshotted her face, and you're like, yeah, she looks like an animal. Shoot her, absolutely, 100%. Another guy, they're like, he was so innocent, he attacked a police officer with a knife. Shoot him. I don't give a shit. Hey, if you're standing there going, well, I had to defend myself. Why would you defend? Like, it's very chicken or the egg, right? You're defending yourself against police. Why are the police there? Did you not like? Dude, it's very weird.
My son got arrested, spent 3 nights in jail for beating up 2-3 cops. Now, little history on my son. He looks like me. but about maybe 100 pounds more. He had shot in his leg, so he could barely fucking walk without his cane. Um, these cops tower like the one cop that really, was on the main one on the thing is about your size, but fit. Like,
ooh, that's scary. Yeah.
In a SWAT suit. Other guy, other cop was about my size, stockier.
Yeah.
SWAT suit.
So, under no circumstances was your son a threat. Let's be honest.
No, not at all.
No.
My son slid on some ice, and he grabbed himself on the car. And him and the cop were walking like through a small walkway. My son slid on some ice, grabbed onto the car, and right there, it bumped the fucking cop. Right there, supposedly that was the assault. Now, this is where the corruption comes in. Because we all know, even as we're having this talk, if you assault a police officer, you get put down to the ground right then and there.
Immediately.
Right, especially in fucking Youngstown, right to the ground. The ground. And there was 4 or 5 cops here, but that they didn't arrest him. So after I come down with a camera and started asking what the hell was going on and why, they're screaming at my son.
Yeah.
My son was in the house. I made him go in the house. You let somebody who assaulted 3 police officers go back in the house?
Right. And that's when you're like, oh, that's malicious enforcement of the law only by the letter. Well, look, he touched me, that's assault. You're like, no, he has a cane, you're retarded. That's your pride was hurt. And if anything, you know what? I hope he shoves that can up your ass. So, but it's one of those things where you're going, see, bro, if you assault a cop, get ready to eat dirt because your face is going into the ground. That's how that works. Hey, and you have every right to if you assault, and this is why, like, hey, just touching somebody is not assault. Calm the fuck down. Okay. If I hit you in the face, and I get attacked if I punched a cop in the face and then got jumped by 5 cops, I'm getting the beating of my life. And you know what? I fucking deserve it. So simple.
And there's like, I've seen a video. I think it's a little bit more down south. Imagine that. But this cop was just being a dick on this random pullover.
Yeah.
There was no evidence or nothing. The cop just pulled the guy over. You see this all on the cop's dash cam. He's telling the guy, you see the guy give him his information and stuff out the window. Normally, that's when the cop walks back to the car,
right,
and runs your shit. No, the cop's telling this guy to get out the car. The guy's like, "Why am I getting out the car? What's wrong?" And get out the car. The guy's like, "Okay, why am I getting out the car?" As soon as the guy gets out the car, this cop fucking slams him on the fucking car and tries to handcuff him. So naturally, dude pulls away. Dude gets about maybe 4 steps. The cop tased him with the fucking taser. Guy shook away from the taser. Just kind of caught him. You hear the guy yell. He must have hit him in the leg because he limped, like did like an NFL put the hand down so so your knees don't hit.
Yeah.
The thing had to have pulled out. The fucking cop goes after him, dives, and falls flat on his ass. Now the dude is running down the street. Now, any cop that I would think of that I would know, look, his license plate, we already know. He ran his license plate. Car's not stolen. You know where he lives. You know where he works just through his license plate.
Yes.
Why? Let him run home. Let him run the fuck. Dude started shooting into. Now, this is a residential area. There are fucking houses on both sides. He got tased in somebody's front yard. His cop dumps, and I don't even know how because it was dark as fuck, at least from the camera. But he ends up hitting the fucking dude and killing him. Like, that was the luckiest shot or unluckiest shot in the fucking world. Dude, and like, as he was going down, he just fucking die.
Like,
dude, unimaginable. What would make you think your pride got hurt that fucking bad? I mean,
well, that's clearly.
After the fucking tase, I just gave the boy the props. Hey, make it home. You took a taser and you're still running. Well, you got an NFL career in front of you.
But this is that's the problem is there's like similar to those who've served in the military, also with police, are not given enough training and tools to handle their own mental health either. And that's you're going, if your pride is so hurt that you have to arrest somebody because it's a traffic stop, problem number one. Number two, if you fall on your own ass because you're out of shape and the person gets away, so you shoot and kill them, you're a murderer, bro. You're going to jail.
You're going to die in jail.
Because, like, well, that's another issue. But like the whole thing, you're going, yeah, bro. He ran. Hey, if he came back and started kicking you in the face, yeah, shoot him. That's fine. But he ran away. Why would you shoot him? You have all his information and his car. Number one, he's not getting far. Just sorry. Right? Like none of it makes it. It's pride that makes it not make sense to me, because then you have good cops who are completely fucked over. Right. And you're that, pick a lane.
I just seen another video, and I believe it was in New York. And New York's the bunch of biggest fucking hypocrites. Yeah. Because New York's police officers are fucking brutal. Yeah. They are brutal and don't give a fuck. But they're told not to be brutal on anybody but Americans. Because they don't touch any illegals. They do not touch not a fucking illegal. But I see video, and this is why, people say, oh, there's already a big police presence, but yet they ain't doing dick about the illegals. Then it don't seem like there's a police presence. Yeah, they're there. Dude, there was it was like 4 black kids that were sitting like on the corner, and it didn't even look like it was like a no loitering spot. And they looked like they were just black kids, maybe late teens, early 20s. The one cop walks up to the one dude. I don't know what the exchange of words is, but he totally like Royce Gracie grappled him up off the fucking ground. Like, it had him on the ground, just fucking hitting him. This other kid is standing up against the wall, and the cop saying something. He was like, look, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you want me to do. The cop said, sit down. So he sat down. Fucking cop just starts wailing on it. And I mean, these are 2 big black cops fucking beating on these 2 skinny black kids. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody says a fucking thing about it. But best believe Pepe and Trans the Titty or Tres Leches or whatever the fuck could be like, oh man, look at that. They're beating up that nigga over there. And walk by, selling their dope and their fucking kids or whoever the fuck they're trafficking that day.
Bro, that's the big issue here, where you're going, listen, if you're here to uphold the law, you uphold the law for everyone. If you're like, well, I was told not to touch those people, I'm sorry. That's not how life works. Just period. Sorry. You can't.
Any police brutality video you see that comes out of New York is on an American citizen.
Yeah. Which, like, listen, New York has gotten a little bit crazy, but it's like, well, are you just randomly beating people up, or are you actually stopping crime, right?
That's pretty much it. Because the Governor Whitmer and stuff, she put the fucking the army down in the subways, but they're not allowed to do anything. They're just there to make a presence, to let it be known. Oh, so they're just statues. They're reporters, pretty much. They're snitches. Hey, yeah, that dude set that girl on fire.
Bro, like, I don't understand it. And even like, I'll be honest with you, the last time I was in New York, I was like, I gotta see if this works, because like everyone had been super polite, and I'm like, this is the thing, is like I've tried to explain this to you guys, is that Canadians are polite, not nice at all. Okay, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself and then apologize. It's the weirdest thing, right? In New York, people were super fucking polite. Now this was late 2000s, so like 2007, 2008, around there. And I was like, I gotta see if I can talk to this cop. So I walked up to the cop, back, officer, sorry, I'm visiting. I was just wondering, what's the best pizza place to try? Because I really want to try some good New York pizza. And he goes, where are you staying? I said, this place. He goes, find a cop in that area and ask him, and he'll let you know what's the best pizza in the neighborhood. Okay? Now, okay. And I was like, oh, thanks, officer. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. He's like, you too. And I was like, if I walked up to a cop in Toronto and said, officer, I'm visiting, what's the best police or what's the best pizza place I can go to? He'd be like, turn around, put your hands where I can see him. You're under arrest. You on drugs, son? You on drugs? What's going on here? That's what would happen. And I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck's going on. But I'm like, I never had an issue when I was in New York, bro. Like, granted, I'm also at the time I was 6'2" and probably around 450 pounds. And like I had no qualms about anything. Like, no one's gonna kidnap me. That's not right. If anything, they were like, oh, I can't kidnap him. I'd have to feed him and I'd go broke. It's not feasible. But like, everyone was super polite and kind. We were not in fear of anything. But like, now people are like, oh, it's as bad as it was in the 80s. And you're like, bro, the 80s in New York were fucking terrifying. Okay. Like, yeah. So that was the story. Remember I told you about my brother's IROC getting stolen? Yeah. Like, yeah. It into the underground parking. 15 minutes later, off it went. Gone forever. That's so, I don't know.
Get more on the more national news, I guess. There has been some fuck shit going on with Trump. I mean, I'm not really seeing where the gain is here. I kind of see where his thinking might be leading, but somebody ain't there. Y'all need to leave Elon Musk alone. Elon Musk was the brains of that situation. And now y'all started fucking with him and he's laying off and you're seeing some stupid fucking shit coming out now. Yeah. Apparently, they're defunding NPR and PBS. NPR, I really don't give a fuck about. It's more of a liberal fucking left-wing news syndication.
Yeah.
But PBS, that's Sesame Street. That's some of the last bit of, if there's any wholesomeness that was left in the whole situation. Now, mind you, I get NPR is very critical of Trump and of the Republican Party, but that's what America is, fuckwit. You can't just have it your way. If it was like that, you'd be a fucking Democrat, you idiot. It's got to, you have your Fox News, you have your NPRs, you have your News Nations, you got your CNNs. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we can find out the truth, motherfucker. Because if you only got media on your side, then we think you're all lying.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So this is the thing. Is PBS 100% should be supported, but should the government be involved? I feel like that's counterproductive. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that?
I was even involved with the PBS because I thought it was always ran on the telethons. To this day, they still got the old rotary phones. You pop it on. There's people waiting at the old rotary phones like they never left that fucking desk. So, I mean, I don't know where that funding, like where that came from, but I think one of the big issues with the PBS, and especially because it's known for Sesame Street, is because we were sending trans Sesame Street over to the litter box.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I did some research because Joey Edibles posted something about this the other day. Was that so? NPR and PBS, the portion that is government funded is about 10 to 15%.
Oh fuck!
So this is where I'm like, okay, but guess what? The whole planet is currently facing recession, if not depression. Times are tough. Tighten your belt. What do you want me to say? So
I didn't know it was just 10%. That's just like everything else. Oh, they're cutting funding for this. Yeah. If they cut 5% of your funding and you got to shut down, that money isn't going where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah.
What's
well, it was going to fucking trans Sesame Street in the litter box.
10%. Like that's that one less snuffleupagus.
I feel like something like that. Yeah, you don't get a new character every 6 months. You get it once a year. I think that's
and no rainbow characters. You know, because that's another thing they started adding in was rainbow characters. We already had enough colors in Sesame Street.
See, my thing is this: is I think, and this is my firm belief is that if all of the characters in Sesame Street are supposed to identify or have some sort of camaraderie with children, then the adults, I'm like, I'm okay with you having a homo as an adult on the show. And then it shows how kids can ask questions and understand that this person may be a fucking weirdo, but that's okay. We're all a little weird. I'm like, that's fine. But why is the little child gay? I don't, that's stupid. That's, if your kid, like, what was it? Rob Schneider said it best, where he goes, my kid is 6 years old and wants to be a pirate. At what point is it okay for me to poke at his eye, chop off his leg, and maybe cut off his hand so he can have a hook, peg, and a patch? When is it okay? And they're like, it's not okay. Why not? Because you're mutilating them for the rest of their life. Ta-da! Yeah, that's the whole thing. You put puberty blockers in a kid before he hits puberty, that kid is going to be sterile, and also his entire life is fucked. Period. So if he's an adult, and this is the thing, is your brain doesn't hit full maturity until the age of 25. So after the age of 25, hey man, you want to chop your wiener off? Go for it. You want to put tits on you? Go for it.
They was letting it 18 years old, you do what you do.
Absolutely.
That ain't good enough. That ain't fucking good enough. You gotta have a 6-year-old with her parents opening up her fake pussy every couple of hours so it don't seal up. That's fucking sick. That's fucking sick. And I don't understand how anybody can think that's okay.
That's a.
Do you remember that mom she had damn near her own talk show, fucking talking about how she had to stuff fucking dildos and stuff in her little girls, little boys, whatever it is, new pussy, so it didn't seal the fuck up. That dude, you need that child needs mental help. Well, you need to go to prison.
That same child is like, I regret it. I regret transitioning. You're like, yeah, you know why? Because you were a child. No one is standing. Listen, you're an adult and you want to do shit, go for it. That's fine. It's your business, man. And even still, like, that's a difficult thing to do at any point in your life, right? Because you're going against what's considered normal.
You know what when I was 6 years old, what I spent my time as identifying as, half the time I was a ninja, the other half I was a veterinarian.
I feel like you achieved some of those goals. I mean, close enough. You like, but it's like technically you've mastered the smoke bomb as a ninja because you just like and you disappear. So that's you're technically a ninja, and you work with animals. I mean, you volunteer. That's technically like, look, realistically, like, let's think about it. Is that you may not have done what you wanted, but you're on the path doing what you wanted. That's a success as best as you can have. You're going, okay, because you know what? You're not going to turn around and go, you know what? I want to go to school for 13 years to become a vet. No, not really. That time has passed. But that doesn't mean you can't help animals. You're going, that's a good thing. So like it's this weird thing where people are like, oh, you have to. I'm like, no, I don't have to do anything. And there's an old bastard who's got like crazy, like Krusty the Clown hair and a beard. He's like, you can just do stuff. Nobody gives a shit. No one's going to stop you. You can just go and do it. And it's like, oh yeah, you're a grown ass fucking person. Go do stuff. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And I think a lot of people are hung up on
the ordinances.
Hey, you just gotta go to the office and get a permit to have 400 dogs, and you'll be fine. That's fine. It can work.
So he cut the funding on NPR and PBS, and if it's only 10% and they can't fucking manage, then maybe the hotlines just didn't work. Y'all should have supported a little bit more. Maybe Nana should have called in when you said, no, Nana, don't throw your money away. I need money for my pop and my this and my that. So you tore down PBS.
Well, hold on. How much is the budget for PBS? PBS. Okay. Let me see here. Because what I want to do is I just to kind of put, dollars and cents. So the Corporation of Public Broadcasting receives a congressional appropriation each year of about $500 million. Now, if that's 15%, let's do the math. Okay. So if you have 500 million divided by 0.15, so their budget is 333 or 3,333,000,000, so on and so on.
Yeah, I think fucking Big Bird's okay.
I think Bird's fine.
Yeah.
So also too, how much does the head of PBS make? Oh, so the president and the CEO makes over $1 million. The COO makes $640,000. The CFO makes $617,000, and the treasurer makes $511,000.
So they basically took down corporate of PBS.
Yeah. So hey, you know what? Corporate PBS, times are tough. Tighten your belt. I believe the term is pull up yourself up by your bootstraps. Maybe instead of $1 million, you're just gonna have to make $500,000. See how crazy this like this is the what I appreciate about doing shows with you, Marco, is we take the time to actually go, well, yeah, that's what the news said, but in real life,
this
is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Fuck it.
Allegedly,
we may be full of shit. So is Google.
So the next thing, now I totally had a brain fart. What was the other fuck shit that Trump? Oh yeah, this is actually going to affect people like Dino and I, a lot of you guys out there, but all us Marvel buffs and shit like that. It ain't written up yet, but he's already floating serious ideas, and he's looking into the how it would be done. But there's going to be 100% tariff on all movies made in foreign countries.
Ooh.
Yeah, because most Marvel movies are made in foreign countries.
Yeah.
Like 5 of them were made in Canada, the rest are made in London and in Australia.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, Australian.
Chris Hemsworth, Australian.
Deadpool, Canadian. I mean, they're all. You notice you never see any American celebrities in any of the fucking movies. Maybe Mackie. I think Mackie, maybe.
Yeah, he's American.
Very, very, very far and few do you see American celebrities, and they have to fly to Europe to make these fucking movies.
Yes.
So now that's putting a big damper on not only foreign films that are coming in, that are just foreign films and anime and shit like that, which has damn near become part of the American culture now.
Yeah.
But it's going to put a big damper on these big, because I guess the whole way of thinking is that there's more tax incentives and cheaper labor and all that shit in other countries, which is kind of hard. Well, I might maybe on the tax incentives, but I mean cheaper labor. You're going to fucking London. You're going to fucking Australia. Yeah. I mean, those aren't cheaper fucking labor places. I can see if you're in like Vietnam or somewhere South Korea, Taiwan, fucking Mexico, even lower Mexico, El Salvador, some shit like that. Well, then I could see, that's cheaper labor, but you're also got the fucking your security, how you need.
Well, so this is the thing. Did you watch Godzilla -1?
No, I didn't see it yet.
So it's fantastic. CGI, spectacular, and it was done for a fraction of the cost of the shit that's going on right now. Now, this is the thing: is if you've seen anything, you're like, look, the whole idea behind foreign development of movies is that it is cheaper, and the whole principle is that if You do your movie up here, then our people get paid, right?
Yeah.
But also too, the government gives grants back for doing that. Okay. So the whole idea is that what they're trying to do is because Toronto has been called Hollywood of the North because we have massive movie production sets, right? Like you watch The Boys?
Yeah.
It's all here, right? Quite a few other shows, all done up here. Huge sound sets. I got pictures of them too. It's pretty good. A buddy of mine does that stuff. But like this is the whole craziness is that you can't like if you do that with 100% tariff, you're going, okay, that's fine. Movies make gajillions of dollars left, right, and center. Okay. That essentially what's happening is the government is using tariffs to become organized crime and go, we want a piece too. It's the same thing with Amazon, how they've been that now they're putting on, oh, this is the tariff price as well. Like the tariff, the addition of tariff, you're going, hey, if you didn't state what your profit was for the fact that you're getting this for $3 a pop from China and you're selling it for 300, you don't get to now go, oh, well, we're doing this. GM just put out a report that says, oh, we're not increasing prices for tariffs. We are, however, taking a hit. We're lowering our projections of sales so that we can accommodate. So the tariffs are coming out of our pocket. Why? That was the whole fucking point.
Right.
Right. It's not, people keep going, oh, it gets passed on to the thing. No. The point is that the government's saying, if you want to manufacture your goods outside of the country, then you're going to have to pay a price to bring them in, specifically towards your profitability. It's that simple. Right? Because we manufactured stuff overseas or outside of the border to make it more cost efficient and refused to pass on that savings to anyone else. Instead, we just lined our pockets. That's the problem. That's where tariffs come into play. Right?
Exactly. But now, here was the biggie when I first heard about this a couple days ago. The big issue was we can't really tariff a movie because it's considered more of an IP.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of can. Because just right before I walked into the studio, I've seen a headline. I didn't get to watch the video yet, and I totally understand why now. Maybe it's gonna hit the streaming company. It's gonna hit the streaming companies. And the first one that comes up, they showed the projections of Netflix if this happens. Who owns most of Netflix? What two families own most of Netflix?
I don't know who do.
The Obammers and those who shall not be named. So, in the spirit of Trump's pettiness, I could see that one. It ain't right. It's some fuck shit, but I could see that one.
That is hilarious. That is very funny. That is. You heard that Big Mike's podcast is like nobody's watching it, right?
Dude, you see that Big Mike looks like the new Predator from Badlands?
Yeah.
Dude, I seen that picture. I posted it. I can't unsee it. Every time I see it, I see him, Jim, whatever.
Yeah, you're like, Big Mike's branching out to movies, and that's nice. Fine. Hey, you saw the whole thing that she was talking with the Wayans brothers?
I don't know. Was it the one where she was like, as a man?
As a black man, you're like, what the fuck? It's like, it's important that you support trans things, and you're going, did that actually happen? Like, honestly, when watching that, it was the same thing when Rob Ford up here was like, she said I asked her to eat her pussy, but I got enough to eat at home. And every reporter went, tell me you were fucking rolling. Did that just fucking happen? And everyone was like, holy shit, that just happened. What the fuck just happened?
It was the Seth Rogen fucking movie. It was like, is Eminem gay on our show?
Yeah. Because the gay man, you're gay? Yeah, that's all my movie. And you're like, What the fuck just happened? Yeah.
Man on the show? Is Michelle a man on her show? Did you get that? Did you get that, Michelle? You see motherfuckers in the back. Michelle's a man on her show.
Bro, everyone has lost their mind about it, and you're going, okay, well, now, see, this is where it's not gaslighting, it's jaslighting. It's 100% jaslighting. That's it. It's just
no. Yes. Yes, lighting.
This is gaslighting. Yes. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I mean, bro, it boggles my mind. Yeah, like right now, it's not enough that we're being misled, but people are like, well, why aren't you happy being lied to? You're the problem. If you're not happy being lied to, you're like, what? What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah. If you're not okay being lied to, then you're a piece of shit. And you're like, no, that's definitely not how that works. Not at all.
That's like when Schumer came out and he gave that big speech and he's like, there's people out there who say they don't need the government.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's called everyone. Everyone who is not sucking from the government.
People are cheering him on like, yeah, we need government. Yeah.
Hey, the people who need government are weak and suckling from the government titty. You know what? Everyone who's not, listen, bro, I haven't had a job in a long time. I've never received unemployment or welfare. And you know what? I'm fortunate enough to be in that situation. I'm not saying you shouldn't get unemployment insurance. I'm not saying you shouldn't collect welfare if you need it. I think those are great things that are a tribute to our peak level of civilization. But if you're standing there going, I collect $4,000 a month from EBT, you need to go to jail. That's simple.
The chick who was having a fit that people were calling her, reporting her.
Yeah. And now she's like, oh, I owe EBT $27,000. Good. You should go to jail. You're a horrible person. And everything, she goes, well, I know my husband has that money in his business account, but he's not giving it to me. Good. I hope you burn in hell.
Does your husband know you were soaking the fucking government? Because I'm sure he didn't if he has a legitimate business.
That's the same fucking cow who's like, I cook for my children. I don't cook for my husband. Your husband is your hostage. And I hope you go to jail so him and those kids can have a happy life. Because you, madam, are a burden on society. Period.
All right, so I guess the last little topic of the weekend that has been gaining steam like a motherfucker. We talked about this on what was it, Wednesday? Mm-hmm. The lady who called the little boy the N-word. So
she's up to like $600,000, eh?
Yeah. And people are having a fit that she has a GoFundMe. And people are having, or whatever the hell thing, are having a fit of all the racist comments that are under her GoFundMe. And that she's boo-hooing that she needs security because everybody's doxing her and calling her, and bothering her and her child and this and that. And boo-hoo-hoo. But nobody is saying dick about the fucking pages of racist shit under the fucking murderer Carmelo Anthony's fucking GoFundMe, which is on the same fucking site. So you can't even bitch at the dude because a lot of people are going after the guy who runs the site, saying that he shouldn't be letting this lady gather money. No, he should. And the reason why is because he's being equal. That is what equality is. That is what the E and DEI stands for. Equality. Now, if you want to post racist fuck shit and collect money for a murderer, and you're so afraid and you need extra security and a Cadillac to go with it, then this poor mom and her fucking kid can collect whatever the fuck she wants for calling your little chitlin whatever the fuck he called her.
See, I would go one step further, Marco, and I would say that these two situations are not comparable. In actuality, this man approached a woman and her child and tried to steal her child, okay, or whatever. It was some sort of heinous shit.
What, for the white lady?
Yeah.
The supposedly, well, for the first reports, so who knows what they're saying now? But this little kid who now automatically now we're finding out he's on the spectrum. But this little black kid, I guess, was stealing stuff out of the lady's diaper bag or whatever. And
the
lady caught him and yelled at him, and I don't know how much of the yelling occurred, and then she called him a little whatever. And but magically, this makes me kind of think about what you were saying. Magically, this Somali guy comes out of nowhere, sticks a phone right in her face. Did you call him a?
Yeah.
And she's like, I called him what he is. I'm just quoting what she said. I called him what he is. And then the dude kept like egging at her and trying to get her to say, say some more shit. And she just like, she collected her things and she left. Dude fucking followed her.
Yeah.
Got her address, put her address and everything online and all this shit. Posted all kind of bullshit about. Now, nobody has said if this dude is related to the Spectrum kid or whatever. But I mean, that was the extent. Nobody was murdered. Nobody was stabbed.
Thank you.
Nobody fucking she didn't pull a knife out the diaper bag and stab the little kid.
Also, Marco, she didn't go to the park with the intention of, hey, I'm going to call somebody the N-word today. That's not what happened. So I don't like, whereas you're going, oh, Carmelo Anthony had every intention of stabbing somebody. He went into a situation that he was not supposed to be. And then he aggravated the situation on purpose, left, came back, and stabbed somebody. These two situations are not equal, right? And on top of that, if you're willing to support one, by damn, you should be supporting both of them because, number one, you don't deserve to have money. Number two, sorry, she defended herself, and you know what? Oh, she said a word. Okay. The other guy killed somebody.
For that word than a fucking knife.
Yeah. If anything, I still love the jokes where people are like, cultural appropriation was white people invented the N-word and then black people said you can't use it. Like, that's hilarious. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. But you're going, listen, after all is said and done, the idea or this manufactured perception that people have that words are violence, you're insane, and I hope you get worded right in the face a lot, excessively even maybe by police.
Get a big B word right across your fucking nugget.
It's quite ridiculous. But
that being said, Dino, you want to plug Life of Giants tonight?
Yes, I do, sir. At 8 p.m. tonight, we are showing Life of Giants Part 52. The quote we are working on is, he who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man. This is a very unique, it's a very unique quote. It's by Samuel Johnson, not Samuel L. Jackson, Samuel Johnson. Yeah. So, but it is a very unique quote, and there's a lot of interesting aspects to it, because the idea that it's that principle that men have to kill a part of themselves to become a man, and it's actually evident in cultures across the world throughout time, and it's part of the process of becoming a man, which, in all honesty, has been lost on many people. So we're going to be on at 8 p.m. on everywhere, my channel, your channel, Cole's channel. It's going to be a good one.
Actually, tonight, I'm going to go to, I just found out right before the show. I'm going to be going to a mic tonight, Dave Rogero's open mic, the Stanko de Mayo. I ain't putting no kind of ethnicity. I ain't even dressing up tonight. Fuck that. This feels like a setup.
It may be a setup, yeah.
Yeah, with everything going around these days, with everything politically and the climate that we're in, do you really think it's wise to have a Cinco de Mayo get together? I'm just saying.
I mean, that's cultural appropriation 101. That's just,
depending. I think I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it tonight. I'm gonna try, but if not, I'll see if Greg wants to join in with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if not, we will be back Wednesday for What the Fuck Wednesday, and Thursday for motherfucking mental health. Oh, we got some shit to talk about on mental health. I'm gonna wait till Cole's here for that one.
That's fair. All right. Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
So that being said, be kind to each other and check out Life of Giants tonight. I'm out.
Later.
So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So what the fuck? What the